Where are we going to play? Map veto stage. We'll find out.
Coastline was our very first map. Then we followed up with Clubhouse. Coastline and Clubhouse are the very first 2 bans, so we're going to go somewhere else. It's going to be another C map. It's going to be Consulate. So we're seeing some great diversity here between these teams.
Not on the letters, though.
No, they're all C's.
All 3 of the C maps have been
just like my report card, all C's. We don't talk about those dark days.
It's okay. It's all right, Parker.
I'm chronic underachiever, okay? It's not the
But
grades that.
You know what though?
Man.
You're a great caster.
Also starts with a C.
Yeah. Yes.
Can't escape it.
Yeah. Letters.
You're like that Sesame Street, like today's letter of the day.
C.
C. So.
I don't know where we're gonna go with that one.
Yeah,
I think it's hit the end.
I think that was the conclusion.
So we're gonna be playing on Consulate. Who do you think is gonna win this one?
Pick up on it. That's fine.
Conclusion. I didn't want to, Parker.
74% of you think that FaZe clan, FaZe up, as they say. 21% think Black Dragons. 5% of a draw. That is one-sided.
Yes, very. But I mean,
yes.
This is one of the few times where I would even go so far as to say that is. I mean, it makes sense. 74 for FaZe. They should win this. It is FaZe's match to lose. Let's be really clear about that one. BD could step up here and have a really amazing performance, and maybe they go toe-to-toe with FaZe and bring it to a really close round, but it is really on FaZe to lose this one, straight up. No questions asked. They're not a team that's like an upstart. Like, we're not looking at an in situation where it's like, oh, maybe they haven't fully proven themselves yet. It's FaZe. They should win this. If they don't, people will be very surprised.
Yeah, Lagona's coming in as well to play on Black Dragons. There might be some growing pains there. We didn't see that from Alamo. He fit in quite well on that INS roster. But Lagona's coming in. There might be some, first match shakes. He just turned 18. Fair. He's a high-level player. You can watch him on stream. He plays really well in a tough region to play ranked on. Let's be completely honest. He manages to keep lockstep with his opponents. I've watched his streams a couple times. Seems like a nice enough guy. The question is, how does he fit into that Black Dragon system? Now, Seiya has not really been a player or a consistent player or a staple on a team. I think all the way back to, it was a boot camp I think he was on many seasons ago. And now, well, I would say that Lagonas is a possible upgrade over the way that somebody who primarily plays as a coach in Seiya is going to be on that team. The question is how do you adjust against, the indisputed best team in Latin America online?
At least right now.
Because I know a lot of Liquid fans will take some umbrage with that and say that, FaZe is the best Liquid is.
You could say that, say your own opinion there, but what we do know is that FaZe is in first.
And FaZe online has been to more lands than Team Liquid. Liquid didn't make it to Tokonami. Liquid didn't make it to Milan, for example. So these are things to consider, just in our defense. Not that Liquid is a bad team. You don't need to take offense to it. Liquid is a very good team. And on LAN, Liquid are an absolute behemoth. We're talking about online. Let's get underway, though, with this matchup. Match number 3 of the day as we will get into the latter portion of our broadcast with FaZe starting on defense. And then we get the very first ban. Say goodbye, Capitan.
Parker, I just know that someone's not going to listen to the second part of what you were saying there, and they're going to be like, actually, Liquid won, and they're the only Latin American team who has at a season final. And then the whole online point will have been lost.
I don't care.
It's going to happen.
I don't. You know how much I care?
Not at all?
Not at all.
Ooh.
Don't care one bit. Don't care one bit, people.
Spicy. Oh, wow. Speaking of spicy.
Is that the first time we've seen it? I think that might be the first time we've seen an IQ.
That I know of. She's an uncommon ban.
Very uncommon.
On Consulate, she makes sense. This means that a Valkyrie ban is important and... Why would you ban IQ if you're also going to ban Valkyrie? You ban an IQ to force a Valkyrie ban, or then on the defense, there's a strong advantage for the defenders because they could throw all their Valkyrie cams outside and they don't have to worry about them getting shot. Echo is also banned from FaZe, but that is common. They usually ban Echo.
Echo and Hibana are by far and away their 2 most popular bans.
Yeah, so the Echo makes total sense from FaZe. FaZe hates Echo. So... Valkyrie and Echo both being banned, IQ being banned, then this is, okay, the only thing that this IQ ban is going to have effect on now is, like, shooting other assorted electronics through the floor. Vertical play has been slowed down for the attack. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot to say about that IQ ban. I am really surprised that BD banned Valkyrie and IQ. You ban IQ to force a Valkyrie ban on a map like Consulate. If you ban IQ, then the other team doesn't ban Valkyrie, that means the defensive half has a significant advantage here. I'm so confused right now because they basically nullified their own attempted play on the ban phase, and there's no advantage gained.
Let's ban IQ so that we can play Valkyrie all the time.
There's just no advantage
Oh
gained.
my god, we banned Valkyrie. It's like
you don't leverage anything from that.
It's like that the meme from Despicable Me, where it's like him at the easel or whatever, and it's like, all right guys, we need like a real
Oh yeah, that one I know.
setup, blah blah, and it's like we want to play a lot of Valkyrie, and then the second panel's like, and the third panel's like ban Valkyrie, and then the fourth panel's just it's like ban IQ. Now we can play Valkyrie. Fourth panel's like ban Valkyrie. Somebody will surely make it up. I did a terrible job of explaining it. But FaZe's first defense. FaZe's first defense. By the way, Teller's Archives.
Yeah, and I just want to be really clear about something. It's not a bad plan. Basically, what BD did is they just yoinked a part of this play that is common out of the map. That's it. And there's no advantage leverage for either team. They just decided they really didn't like that particular component of a typical attack defense on Consulate. Anyway, so look at that. Actually, Lagonis' charm being run by his teammates now. See, that's a nice little
Black Dragons does have a charm in the game as well. Keep that in mind. But I guess for his maiden voyage, which we'll call it here in Pro League as Lagonis makes his debut, it's a nice nod. It would be nice to actually see FaZe doing it as well.
I wonder if we'll have any FaZe players running it. Right now, they're using their own charm, which makes a lot of sense. But, you know, we'll see.
FaZe does indeed have skin in the game on Caveira, a Brazilian operator, actually, funny enough.
Yeah.
And it was the first skin to fully reveal her face, if I remember correctly. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I'm running it right now, but I haven't checked.
No face paint. I think the only face paint is the FaZe F on
her cheek.
Yeah. So
yeah.
There you go. Astro is indeed running Lagonis' charm, so a nod of respect.
FaZe face reveal.
Yeah.
Hornetau on Repel here for paper.
No way, you just said FaZe reveal.
FaZe face reveal. I added the face in, so I didn't get that clever with it. There is potential for a nade here, but of course you're going to need to clear the ADS. That's why the Thermite's here, to throw his flashes to clear the ADS, to allow for the nade. And here it will come from Hornetau. The question is, will it get the Jaeger? The answer is yes. And there goes Astro. Well placed from BD and Hornetau specifically. Great teamwork there between Lagonis, the newest member of the squad, and the Buck. C4 from Mav will miss, so no response from FaZe. And the second C4 from Yuna also missed earlier in the round, though we didn't get to see it, so not a great start for the defensive side. Tellers is a weird site to start on. I'm guessing they were just trying to catch BD off guard. It hasn't seemed to work thus far for FaZe.
We've seen teams do this before, one of which that I can most fondly remember was Vitality versus ENCE many seasons ago, as it was a border defense, and well, they went straight to bathrooms and Tellers, which was not ideal. There's another kill for Black Dragons, answered back with the kill from FaZe Clan, or vice versa, rather. As you lose two of the fraggers for FaZe Clan. 45 seconds, Mira inside of the site. Yuna will miss the drone. He's going to also lose and miss out on somebody above. Oh, what a shot on a PZD. As he's got one inside of Visa, he'll tussle with the windows. He knows it's going to be played to his left. Does he open it up? No, there's actually two of them. Live sprints on into the site. So it's going to be Ion and Mav now. Mav inside of Circle Desk. Lobby, as some will call it. Plant going down. Ion has a Nitro cell. Pops it up, but they've fallen off of the plant. It ends up being a bit of a waste. Mav with the UMP on the main stairs. He'll get gunned down from Spiral, and Live is there to finish off Ion. And Black Dragons on attack will manage to figure out and pick apart this Teller's Archives defense. As unconventional as it may have been for a first sight, doesn't work out for FaZe.
Big thing there is 3 C4s missed. No benefit from the abundance of C4 brought by FaZe, and that really did cost them. Black Dragon's timing was a little bit weird for FaZe. You could see that FaZe was predicting a lot of stuff that never happened, pre-aiming a lot of places that no one ever was, placing C4s where there was no one to catch them from above. So a lot of opportunities missed for FaZe because, again, the timing was just a little bit funky. On the side of Black Dragons, they were pretty quick to take, but then they stuttered a little bit. They stalled and waited for a perfect setup before executing onto the site after clearing out admin office. So I'd say just really good take there from Black Dragons. They didn't lose a lot when clearing above, or anything really when clearing above. And then when they hit the site, there was so much man advantage that, especially with those C4s missing, that FaZe could not bounce back. Now, it'll be a basement defense for the second site here from FaZe. We'll see how they manage. I will say that basement's probably a little bit easier to defend than Tellers. As much as Tellers can catch people off guard, I still think that it is not the best bomb site. But That is just a matter of opinion, I suppose. There are some squads that would strongly disagree. I know G2, for example, G2 really favors going to tellers at times. It looks like when G2 brings it out, almost every time it looks like that they're trying to secure the win. They usually bring it out late in a match, as opposed to what we just saw from FaZe. Different in strats.
This is silly.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
That's silly.
It's the sort of thing that gets punished more often than not for the defenders.
Almost did get punished. You could hear the bullet sail over his head.
Bad timing there on the peak from Lagonis, but he almost hit it.
When was the last time we saw Mira on the garage door?
We don't see Mira played even when she's not banned on this map because how useful is she really? On the garage panel, she can deny the wall getting opened up because you can impact trick the exothermics, or you can C4 the exothermics, depending on what you've got available. So yeah, I mean, you could outright deny the garage getting opened with that mirror window.
Yuna loves his mirror play, though, so it shouldn't shock the world that they're going to stick on that for FaZe's defenses.
Very good with a Vector as well.
Yes, whether it be on Goyo, who is unbanned. Echo and Valk are the two defensive bans, as you can see on your screen, with IQ. Yes, that is correct. There's not a mistake. IQ and Capitao being the bans here.
Ooh, Ion's position is known. You could tell by the angle Hornatao is trying to use there. Or maybe, I think it's known. They must have droned him, and they're waiting for Ion to move. A lot of delay work coming in here. Hornatao gonna drone again just to see if the Maestro's still there. Yuna will get a C4, so second round's the charm. Hornatao definitely spotted the Maestro, and now he's setting up on the angle, waiting to punish. He'll actually get off repel, interestingly.
Here's both of his frag grenades as Ion misses the shots. That could have been good capitalization from Hornatao, and there it goes on the window. Somehow Ion manages to get it against Lion. That is incredible. I don't know exactly what Ion was doing there, but he manages to pull it off. That's an impeccable play. This one-man stand up top so far has been unable to be thwarted by Black Dragons. Still on repel as Ion will now see a pressure from bathroom rather. Words are hard. You mentioned it yourself.
Yes.
Missed opportunities from Ion. Wog takes out Astro. Ion's gonna head for the hills, but he's not gonna get away from Lagonis. There you go. On hard breach duty, Lagonis will get his pick onto Ion. Mav still downstairs. I don't think he's been droned out either. Keep in mind that this is a garage defense. Those panels have not been opened up. So you spend a minute and 50 seconds, give or take, in order to take that second floor control as time continues to bleed away. You've done nothing to take cameraman out of the bathroom on main floor. Mav is still downstairs with tons of information because he's got that cardiac sensor up. It's a 3v3. There goes the garage panel finally. No, that's actually a back hatch. So the call's been made from Black Dragons that they're not going to be able to tackle those three panels on the garage. You'll leave that for now. They're inside a piano, looking to open up in the bathroom. Hornatao's in, he's a skeleton key out. That's a mistake from cameraman. Does he not hear the wall blow next to him? And there's a soft hatch above as well. Mav will have to watch. Toss out the C4, double duty. He gets Lagonis down. Someone will need to retrieve diffuser, but nobody's in any position to do so. Hornatao might be able to take out Mav, but he's not going to be able to find the final kill. And by the skin of their teeth, FaZe will hang on.
That's a big note, though. By the skin of their teeth. That was a really close round, and it seemed like Black Dragons was going to be able to recover it. The big moment, I think, where the momentum shifted towards Black Dragons, in fact, is cameraman inside a bathroom, struggling to hold on and delay for just a few more seconds. That was a close one for sure. But luckily, Mav was in the right position at the right time with the right utility. C4 to deny the plant at the front of white. That was the determining factor for the round outcome, and FaZe managed to keep alive because of it. Well done to FaZe. Good job to Mav. And 1-1 is the scoreline as we move to the middle floor. We're seeing a lobby being favored a lot more lately by not only Latin America, but also pretty much everyone who's playing Consulate these days.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as
I mean,
they can.
it comes in waves. I don't know. We've been watching Consulate for long enough where we see middle floor get used more than everyone else, or all the other sides. We get bottom floor, top floor. It just rotates through over and over and over again. Just comes down to what people are doing in scrims and what they think is best.
So if we go the 4 matches that you and I have, or 4 playdays that you and I have casted, because this is playday number 4.
This is number 5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We did EU,
right.
LATAM,
Yeah,
NA.
you're right. My pages were stuck together.
We're in EU and then LATAM. Your pages were stuck together?
Yeah. So our first
That darn
playday-
notebook.
I know. I'm a sucker for real paper.
Yes.
It's cathartic, I feel. Anyway, our first playday there was no Consulate.
bomb.
Our second play day, there was no Consulate. Obviously not in vogue here. Our third play day, we got to see Consulate once. It was TSM versus E United, and we saw Lobby get defended 3 times in 10 rounds, all right?
So that's middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack, not bad. Almost a third of the defenses were on Lobby. We saw Consulate twice yesterday. BDS versus Vitality, there was only 9 rounds, but we saw Lobby 3 times, so exactly a third. And then we saw G2 versus Fours on Consulate. We only saw Lobby 1 time from G2. Fours only went to Console, Office, and
So it's like,
Garage.
on average, middle of the pack as far as sites go
It's
these days.
keeping pace pretty well.
It's more popular than it used to be.
Yep. Very much so. Astro on the top of yellow stairs as we now turn our focus in towards round number 3 with an even 1-1 scoreline for both teams. Astro on yellow stairs, uniquely sitting with all 3 ADS in one position, and I don't think they can be taken from above. I don't know why he got out of there as quickly as he did, because I think there's still some ADS charges that could.
It might have been burnt fully. I'm not sure.
That's a lot of utility to eat through if that's the case.
Yeah, if they ate up that entire, no, it couldn't be because they might have used the flashes on live and maybe WAC has them as well. I'm not 100% sure. They definitely only used. I can only see lives that have been used. Yuna will get the first kill there onto Lagones, the newest addition to Black Dragons. So there goes your hard destructor. That's a lot of loss here for the attacking side. The roamers are still upstairs. So while BD have gotten some top 4 control, they haven't gotten full control, and they're going to struggle with the retake upstairs later in the round if they don't actually lock that down. They do have air jabs, so that'll help.
Could be another reason why we saw the Jaeger fall off in Astro so early on, is that this is a lobby defense. You don't need to hold yellow stairs until the very end, and you're very likely going to have somebody take yellow stairs from the main floor. A second kill from FaZe as Black Dragon's guns have not woken up in this round.
Yeah.
It's a 5v3 with a minute to go.
2 kills unanswered pretty much secures the round for a team usually, unless those 3 players work some kind of miracle, especially when you're as the defenders. You can just wait it out if you're FaZe.
Lagones being the first death is particularly troubling because he's the single hard breacher on the team. You've still got lots of fragging potential from Black Dragons. You got a C8 on the board, you have the ARX on the board, you have the C7E on the board. So Black Dragons have good guns. Wog unable to hit his shots onto the Jaeger. PZD will land one onto Yuna though, and Wog losing the fight to Astro, but actually trading. We've been seeing a lot of those recently.
Yeah.
So just the Jackal and the Buck left in a 2v3. C4 goes off and Hornetow just narrowly evades it. Is he going to do the same thing he did last time around by rushing into the bathroom? No. He eats up a bunch of damage. Takes out Mozzie. Beautiful shot. PZD is there. Shotgun in hand. Black Dragons could be able to win this one. And there you go. Ion inside of the bathroom is not going to be able to make it out alive. It was a 3v2, and it ends up becoming a 0v2 as Black Dragons gets every single one of the final kills without losing anybody. They managed to win that round. They're up 2-1.
Definitely a round that I would describe as being in FaZe's pocket. And I guess they trip and fell because it fell out. I'm not really sure what happened there. All I do know is that Black Dragons started fragging out, and FaZe had no response. The curious thing is that FaZe put themselves up too early. 2 kills. 5 versus 3 to begin the comeback from BD, and then it becomes suddenly, like you said, a 2 versus 0. So that's really strange. FaZe not holding on to their angles correctly, not engaging in the right fights or as a unit, which is really big. There's also a lot of moments where there were BD players completely exposed to crossfires, and the crossfire never came out. For example, Hornetow, when he dropped into meeting, the Pulse was challenging from yellow stairs. Hornetow didn't even know. He thought he was getting shot from below, and he's shooting through below to try and counter the Pulse, who's shooting supposedly from below, but it's actually yellow stairs. So that Pulse could have easily killed Hornetow, and then there you go, round over. It's a strange thing that we saw there. A lack of confidence bleeding through is what I'm noticing for FaZe. And if you're a FaZe fan, you just gotta hope that that does not persist through the entirety of this match, because if it does, then the pure skill on FaZe is probably gonna get them some rounds here and there. But if they're playing without confidence, FaZe will not win this. Castle being brought on the top 4, and it's the old school Castle strat. This is one of the original Castle strategies that started to make Castle slightly more popular in the meta. You can do things like cut off just the right angles and only those, and then set up your site to be more favored towards the defense. In this case, you see that Castle barricade by the CEO door. That's the biggest one on this site. It means that the defenders are going to be able to play by the big desk a little bit more easily. They've brought a Clash as well, which is going to augment this strategy in a new way, because we haven't seen when we used to see this strategy pulled out a lot, which was actually, it was very popular. This was before Clash came out, before ban phase even existed. It was a different time in Siege history.
Castle set up as well over on Connector with the rotate next to it. And then they get Castle off Bathroom, and they put a rotate at the top of Yellow, and they maybe Castle off Double Doors, they shoot at the bottom of Bathroom. There's a lot of things they could have done.
They got a lot of choices with the Castle on the top floor.
Yes.
But this is again, this is the old school one right here.
Can't tell if there's a rotate from that perspective that we just had in the bathroom, and the spectator cannot hear us in Latin America, so that is often.
I think it's just shut down. Because
they might have completely walled off the bathroom.
The way they're setting this up, it looks like Mav is supposed to deny Yellow stairs, and that's why they've got the Castle barricade by Big Desk, so that it's easier for him to not get flanked from CEO or Pell.
You can hear that they finally burned all the ADSs at the top of Yellow, too. So they can send frag grenades in, they can send air jabs in. Mind, air jabs do get taken by ADSs. There goes some of the comfort and security that Mav is holding on to. And yes, indeed, a very smart play to take out the wall in Bathroom, which means that Mav will have to fall back because that Clash shield, while very strong head-on, doesn't provide you the best security from the side, and that's exactly what will happen. Also, the Castle barricade and the double doors leading into bomb site B has been removed as well. Black Dragons haven't been able to do much in terms of kills in this round, but their objective play and their utility usage has been very, very strong.
A little bit of a reactionary mouse one there from Mav. He is between a rock and a hard place with these crossfires. The awareness from BD is truly impressive. The big thing, though, is that BD has not managed to get any picks yet, and there's still site denial, still plant denial. No C4s in play here, but roamers who can retake from Yellow and deny the plant using those yellow walls, which have likely been opened up. There's also Evil Eyes in the bomb site, and smoke gas canisters that can be thrown in to deny the plant. So as we hit the last 40 seconds, yes, BD have done a good job dealing with the Clash, but they haven't even killed him, and there's not enough site control for a plant.
This is a tough spot for Mav to be in the target prioritization as he's smoked off exactly in the middle, confronts PZD. Yuna gets opening pick. It's going to be very, very late. And Yuna will be relying on Mav to be that literal shield in front of him. Cameraman on the run out, takes down Hornetau. Wag trades off Astro. They both lose one. PZD down below, trying to figure out if he can catch that castle that went for the run out. But with 15 seconds left, BD is scrambling to make something work. They don't have an advantage. They didn't need it in the last round. They still managed to take the damn thing, but they're going to lose even more now as down goes Wog, down goes PZD, and live, down he goes as well. FaZe Clan managed to win the round. They'll tie it up 2-2.
That was a really beautiful bait and switch. So FaZe set up specifically screaming, we're not aggressively holding CEO. One of the biggest downfalls of Castle barricading that doorway into CEO between it and Big Desk is that when you do that as a defensive team, you lose a little bit of traction on the CEO bomb site itself. And normally what then would happen is, okay, well, that's fine, we're going to do that, and our way of holding CEO will be C4s from below. But in this case, not so. C4s from below were not utilized from FaZe. And Black Dragons actually droned that out. They noticed, oh, there's no C4s underneath. Well, that's odd. And then the BD decides, okay, well, we'll just go for a plant. We'll just rappel in and easy plant, easy round. But they couldn't do that because gas canisters, number one. Maestro on a shield all the way by long desk, number two. Clash, slowing things down for the yellow stairs push, number three. And then the run out from the garage panel by the castle and the Jaeger, number four. Then a retake from yellow stairs distracts the rest of the attackers who are alive. But at this point, there's only 20 seconds as the fifth point. So every single player on FaZe was focused on denying a CEO plant because they knew it would happen because they baited Black Dragons into it. And while I think that BD did a pretty good job of reading that strategy and attempting to counter it, it wasn't a good enough job just because of how heavily FaZe stacked on the expectations of the expectation rather of a CEO take. So really, I gotta say, a smart setup from FaZe and a well-earned round that deserves some appreciation. It'll be basement for the next round from FaZe.
Things were working so well for Black Dragons, too. The way they opened up the bathroom wall, the way they burned the ADSs and they had clearance to be able to take Yellow, the way that they opened up the castle barricaded double doors. But I think that they expended too much of that utility and didn't have anything to deal with the Clash.
I mean, yeah, they didn't have anything to do with the Clash. That was a big problem.
That was a big problem.
And then there was the Maestro, the smokes.
I'm sorry, I wasn't done talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, I'm done talking.
Okay.
Spitefully, I will not answer you. First kill's going to go to Hornetau.
You're an indignant Parker.
I'm very indignant. It is unfounded, self-righteous indignance, but you know what?
I feel I feel bad for putting you there.
That doesn't stop me.
There goes Ion, like
Yeah,
you said.
Ion died. Could you believe that?
Dead.
You almost didn't hear his death over my indignation.
Sorry, what was the point you were trying to make? We've kind of lost the plot here. But
I was trying to say that all of what Black Dragon structured their, I guess, initial entry on used so much utility that they didn't have much to deal with the clash after that. And you could see the way that they smoked off the middle was designed to force Mav to pick a lane. And Mav didn't have to. He had Yuna behind him, and Black Dragons weren't able to really follow up on it. Then Cameraman went for the run out because Black Dragons were so focused on the clash, which they didn't have the tools to do anything with her. I can imagine their comms were a mess, and because of this, there's nobody watching flank, which is what allowed Cameraman with the impact on the castle to take full advantage of that. So as we were commenting Black Dragons, what they did was very swift and correct. But they didn't take into account one other factor, just as Black Dragons didn't take into account that Lagonis gets downed. FaZe Clan still have an advantage here, and Lagonis will get picked up, so that exothermic charge can still go on the wall. That could have gone from bad to worse.
well assessed, Parker.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
I appreciate the comment now after you had stopped me from speaking.
No problem.
Silence no more.
Drop down opened up. C4 pre-placed. Mav is in a position to call that pre-placed C4. His C4 will land onto live. Yuna is just waiting to detonate his own. Cameraman still in bathroom doing work this time. He'll get one. Wag will respond, though, onto Yuna, so that second C4 not going to benefit FaZe in this round. Mav with the UMP is the only anchor right now. Cameraman can still drop, though, and he could be a thorn in the side of the last attackers. But as Mav is eliminated by Hornatow, it's all on camera. And this is not an ideal position for him, but he might be able to deny the plant as he flanks from yellow. It's been red, though. There's the nade. The plant's going down, not exposed to yellow. And he's peek from the hatch. He gets the planter. That's diffuser down. With 12 seconds left, his position is red by the air jab detonating at the top of Spiral. That's going to call out where Cameraman is, but I believe he might rotate. No, he's committed to Spiral, and the second air jab is going to cost Cameraman denying this plant. So this could cost Cameraman also, by extension, the round, as it is a post-plant on basement. Almost the third air jab detonated there, but not quite. Now Cameraman needs to find 2 targets in the remaining few seconds for this diffuser as it ticks away, and he's being too thorough, to be honest.
It's totally blind, right? And
no information.
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere.
Nice try there from Camera, though.
Lockout from Black Dragons, and just very routine hold.
Yeah.
Hitting every single air jab along the way except for the last one, and then not having any intel. It's a really difficult spot for Cameraman to be in. Mav peeked onto the breach that was in the garage, not expecting somebody to be on yellow, and he got punished for it. He was at a UMP from a great distance going up against ACOGs. With a UMP, you lose that battle. You lose that battle 9 times out of 10. So, you know what is funny? I went into the YouTube comments earlier today because every now and then I like to mosey over there. I like to go into that realm.
Are you a masochist?
Sometimes I just want punishment, Michael.
Okay.
Sometimes I just want to be punished.
Well, it's a good way to learn a lesson.
Yeah, so I went into the YouTube comments and it was funny because I was, can't remember what match it was. It was a very recent one. And somebody was like, it's very obvious that these casters don't like each other and that the tension on screen really detracts from the broadcast. So many times one of them will make a joke and the other will just not respond to it, oftentimes leading to animosity and hostility. It would be great if they found people with chemistry, blah, blah, because it's tough to view 2 people who clearly don't like working with each other. And I was looking at it being like,
are they watching the same broadcast?
I was like, what are you watching?
Well, I mean, it's true. I absolutely hate your guts. Of course, Parker.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I dwell often on the just sheer amount of hatred that I possess for you.
I just talk about you all the time behind your back to all of my friends and how much I hate you.
I'm going to be honest with you. All the comments I pay behind your back are total lies. They are not heartfelt at all. They are fiction.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm on the same boat here.
So the people that think that, it does very much astonish me, the amount of people who don't understand that the ebb and flow of our jokes is or the yin and yang of our jokes is, it's I will say something deliberately corny that is horrible, and then you respond with the usual reaction of, that's horrible, and I act offended that you're offended. And then people are like, wow, these guys really don't like each other. And I was like, I'll take what is humor for 800 Alex?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not the expert on humor, so for me, I can't pitch in here. But, you know, I'd say Parker's usually pretty good at that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Hit or miss.
No, I'd say you're good at that stuff. Got the charisma and the funnies.
I mean, I think we all have to have charisma in order to do this job, right? But
I mean, I'm proof of not having any of that.
I was very charismatic the way you strung that together. No,
Thank you.
Speaking
Learning.
Speaking of funny, not funny is being jackal-tracked as cameraman is. And now you're getting marks as well on the stairs, an ADS place that is being juggled by Astro as he sets an ADS down, then picks it up so that it can't be burned through.
It's the trio ADS.
It's the same thing that we saw last time around, as it is a lobby defense for FaZe, and they are replicating the success that they found on yellow stairs. Mav swings on in, down goes Lagonis. Black Dragons has added insurance and WOG running the Hibana, so you don't have just a single hard breacher from Black Dragons. You do have a second if required, but Lagonis is having a bit of a rough first outing here. There goes the other ADS. How many more does Astro have? They've all been expended. Has he been blinded on the stairs? There's an upside down rappel. It looks like he might be blind, maybe not. He's in tough shape. And Hornetow has him on watch. There's a frag grenade with his name on it. Picked the wrong side.
And he missed it.
And I think it hit the banister, actually.
Yeah.
But look at the time. There's 1 minute and 10 seconds left. That is it. And they still have not taken yellow control. So Black Dragons are really struggling here to transition.
Yeah, Mav's calling out a lot of information here by bench hallway as well. PZD will get Astro, so the player on yellow stairs, the Jaeger, finally dies. He wasted 2 minutes in an abundance of utility, plenty of HP chipped away from Black Dragons, and you can genuinely say that that is a excellent roam from Astro, even though he didn't get a kill there. He enabled a kill for Mav elsewhere onto Lagones. And now Black Dragons, with little utility, have to reassess the round after getting yellow stairs because, okay, well, what do they do now? Where are they attacking now? You've got Ion playing in bathroom. He's going to be able to hold on to the A bomb site. He's got a C4. He's got holes prepped for his C4. You've got Mav underneath the A bomb site. He also has a C4. And there's a third from Mozzie who will pre-place it so Mav can call the detonation and detonate. It's a little late, but it still gets it. Cameraman gets WAG, and that's going to be Diffuser on the floor. Live also will get Cameraman downstairs, though, so at least there's some response from BD. The rush coming into sight actually might be able to net the win as Hornetow starts planning in the dying seconds of the round. What a save from Live! He covers the play, but Mav denies it with C4, and FaZe will take the round, despite how close it was.
I don't think anybody bothered Mav down below at all that entire round. He had the chillest round that you could possibly imagine, just cruising. Just cruising down below, if we can use our folksy lingo here. Mav, not being droned out, they triple reinforced the panels downstairs so they didn't have to worry about hard destruction dislodging him from the basement. Because there was that early skirmish and because so much time was burned on yellow stairs, Black Dragons, you just don't have enough time left in the round to go downstairs and take care of Mav. And if he gets the right calls, whether he uses his pulse his scanner or not, he's got nitrous in his pocket. You're planting in a spot, especially in pianos, it's a lobby defense. You're planting in a spot where the entire floor, with the exception of the stage, is totally ripe for a C4 to kill you. That was really time management. And I would even argue that it wasn't Mav who was the most instrumental in that round, it was Astro on yellow stairs. The sheer amount of time, secondary gadgets, and main gadgets that were burned away from that yellow hold. Basically, Astro just waiting. Minute 45. 2 minutes. No problem.
I think that there's a lot to say about the Astro play, but mostly to me it's just Black Dragons putting so much emphasis on it. I mean, at any point there was potential for Astro to be dealt with in other ways, just a more direct confrontation potentially from this upstairs, which was lightly roamed upon by FaZe, or maybe just try to circumvent Astro's position and go for a different attack. I mean, you got choices.
Astro was forced off in the previous lobby defense a couple rounds before that. Why? Because you took the bottom floor of yellow. You went in through vending machines. Now, mind you, that advantage that you would usually get is negated by the fact that Mav was playing aggressively down there. The walls were reinforced. You know that FaZe was heavily invested in holding Garage, so you can't just mow on in.
Hammer was assisting.
And continue up, yeah. So FaZe had fixed that issue that forced Astro off, but if you recall, still in that round before, Astro wasted, what, a minute and a half, and then managed to get over to Visa safely. This time around, Astro just stayed on yellow for not twice as long, but a considerable amount longer. And that's really where the round was won and lost from Black Dragons.
He's setting up that is a calculated flash from Yuna, and and it should clear the ADS in Cafeteria, but the Jaeger, who was playing behind the shield live, will move before the nade comes from Mav. I love the way that FaZe set that up. It was practiced and refined, but it was read by live, so it was not deadly in the end.
You know, that's one thing I kind of wish that we had more of, is the amount of people who pre-place these certain, be they flashes, be they grenades, etc. Ion wins the very first fight against Live. I don't know if Ion deserved that. That probably shouldn't have gone his way. Live was playing that
reactionary
nasty angle, yeah. This is a Teller's Archives defense as well for Black Dragons to start this off, so I don't know what it is. Both these teams, they love to go to the site that we see fewer play on. Ion only had a tiny bit of HP left, and the rest of it is claimed by Black Dragons. Set us up at a 4v4. Walks, it's a possible pre-place C4.
It'll be underneath paper, so if anyone on the attack goes into paper, or printer as some call it, then that will be when that gets detonated. I wonder if they have info on paper to call that, or if he's just playing it off sound. You could do it either way. There's another C4 on Hornetau. So there's a lot of potential denial from below. A little bit of a pause button being pressed here from FaZe, it seems, because they haven't done much for a while. And there it is. Yeah, that's the paper C4 that was pre-placed by Horn. Actually, no, that's a different C4. That was the
was the one who pre-placed it. Yeah.
So Hornetau C4ing someone somewhere else, and Cameraman will get WOG, so at least that pre-placed is gone.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Now you can get into paper much easier if that was your concern, if you're FaZe clan. Still got this angle being held by Lagonas. Down below, bullet holes. That is a tough fight for the attackers to counter-strike on. Mav drops.
Wrong
he
game.
can just... That wasn't a game reference, Michael. It was a word reference.
I know. I'm sorry.
Goon!
10 seconds.
PZD lights up one member of FaZe Clan, does some damage to Mav. His position is given away. He's got a soft wall there as well. Nitro cell for Lagonas, and this should connect. Cameraman eliminates Hornetau. Traded off. Diffuser does not go down. Cameraman will have to wrestle. It's in the Viper's nest. Lagonas is only one left. He's up on service stairs. He catches the Jackal from the back and also will get the buck for added good measure. Lagonas, your debut. What a performance from you that round. Making your mark known, and you can see great poise, great calmness, good patience. Black Dragons will take the lead.
The decision-making from the cover player there on FaZe to try and hold the angle from Spiral instead of Visa stairs, very questionable, especially given that I'm surprised he didn't hear Mira chugging up the Visa stairs. Those 3 armors are really, really loud when they're making rotations, and he had to sprint. Lagonas had to sprint, so I'm not sure why the coverage was poor for FaZe there. Good job to Lagonas for taking full advantage of the opportunity that was presented to him, though. And he was also the one to deny the plant initially, which is a big factor. So props to him. As you said, the debut for Lagonas, really, I think, making a name for himself. He's doing great. He's managed to take a round away from FaZe almost single-handedly. That's big. But really, I put that at FaZe's shoulders. I don't know what they were thinking there. I'm surprised that the information was so little for FaZe that they weren't covering the right angle. I'm curious as well if FaZe had any smokes left on that Jackal. I think they used them earlier in the round, so I'm guessing not. But would have been cool to isolate one angle. Of course, in the heat of the moment, sometimes you forget about that sort of thing, and I'm not really sure, again, if they even had smokes, so it's entirely possible that that's not an option. Anyway, bottom floor defense now for BD, as they are in the lead. Actually, BD have been consistently in the lead. This has been a constant back and forth. BD got the very first round of this match, and then since then, no one has gotten 2 in a row. So we'll see if BD can start a trend here, getting 2 in a row for themselves, or if we're going to see more of the same. Back and forth. Did they change Mute's voice?
I don't think so. They changed Mira's and Hibana's voice, I believe. I know Mira for sure.
Maybe I just don't listen to Mute very much. It sounded so different for some reason. Droning going into Piano. They're going to want to deal with the player in the bathroom. This has been a staple for both of these teams. Roaming and bathroom on the bottom floor. Just a delay. It is a beneficial position to hold for the defense for sure, but it mostly, again, it comes down to slowing things down. Yuna is not going to be able to open up the drop, or rather, why did I say that? He's not going to be able to open up the wall yet. He can inch a little bit further and get away from the mute jammer. And I think that would be able to open it. There you go, yeah. So, wall open, but only slightly because of the mute jammer, which should be shot after this. I'm not sure what Hornetau's doing. Tempting fate, maybe.
This is rough for FaZe Clan.
A bomb has been
Yeah.
located.
I mean, well, they still got a lot of time.
Yeah.
At least, so
I'm not sure how they're gonna. Oh, my!
that should-
Nav. Okay.
that was a mistake from PZD.
Yeah, that's a hell of a shot. And now Wag is up next. Outside, there's an air jab. He can hear it.
He's looking for Mav. He knows where he is.
That's a tough shot to make with the SMG. You literally get one bullet. That's it. You have one shot, and that thing is going to hit the ceiling.
Basically a pistol, but with more recoil
He's just
in this situation.
very lightly edging out.
It's
Diffuser's
going
going down from Yuna. Astro's in. He's got coverage. There goes Lagonis.
No denial.
No denial whatsoever. The smoke misses, so that's not ideal if you're Black Dragons. Hornetow takes out Astro. It's still an advantage for FaZe, and we know, and we have spoken at length, how challenging it is to retake when it is a console basement defense. Mav rushes on in. He's got the soft destruction that will be needed. Pistol out, he takes out Wog. Obviously the mute not looking. Live is also low on HP, and there's drones in sight to give marks to FaZe. They've got everything going for them. Yuna hits Hornetow as the fadeaway shot, and Live with only 30 HP. Not going to be able to make it out of yellow stairs. FaZe will answer back. No team has won more than a single round in a row. Black Dragons has either led or been tied. FaZe is yet to lead. We're through 8 rounds, and it's 4-4.
That was a very routine attack from FaZe, and at no point did I really see Black Dragons start to answer back on the plant. The garage panel was almost ignored from BD. The extent of denial from BD was gas canisters, and they were misthrown from Black Dragon. So, strange setup there. Mav, what he was doing, in case you're wondering, outside, he was using the windows to deny a defender playing inside a piano. By denying someone in piano, he allowed for the plant to go down at the front of white because there's no one shooting the planter from above. Again, the smoke's misplaced, no C4s in the site because they were all roaming for some reason. And because of that, there was not any real site denial. The curious thing, and I'm surprised that Black Dragons has not caught on to this trend, Maestro is not banned right now. And the Maestro Evil Eyes going on the floor of Garage, that's quite possibly Maestro's best use case, is when you put those Maestro Evil Eyes on the floor of Garage, because it's really hard to hit a lifeline onto them. Kali is actually really good at dealing with those, but she's not available, so it doesn't matter. You can do Ash charges, but she's not getting played very often in that scenario, so...
Twitch and Thatcher tend to be your two best?
Twitch is the best outright.
Absolutely.
Because you can drive her in.
Yeah, she can get under the cars, and it's very challenging for a defender to shoot that Twitch drone once it gets under the vehicle.
She's, of course, not being brought, but the bigger point for me is that the Maestro wasn't there in the first place, and that would have been able to deny the plan in that scenario, and that allows you then to have a great roam presence, as BT did. They weren't enabling their own play, is the point I'm trying to get at.
This is going to be a 3-tiered roam from Black Dragons as they set up on console office on that second floor for their third defense. They won on tellers, so it's locked. The lobby is still at their disposal. We've seen 3 lobbies so far through 8 rounds. It's keeping pace with what we expect of it. About roughly a third of the defenses will be towards lobby. PZD looked to be roaming on the bottom floor, but he's made it back to the first floor and now heads up to the second, so maybe Black Dragons have decided against stacking up on every single layer here of Consulate. Trying to burn out the ADSs at the top of yellow. We also saw a couple ADSs alongside a mute jammer being stacked by the reinforced walls of bathrooms. So you'll be able to play the big desk, as you referred to it as, reception as some people will call it. That'll allow Black Dragons to hang on there, and as long as you got somebody watching either over an admin or even spiral stairs, it's a strong position for the defenders to be able to sit in.
I like big desk, long desk. Do you prefer reception? It seems like an odd spot for reception.
I think it's called console front desk. Well, I mean, it would be the reception for the if it was a real Consulate.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it would be that circle desk or down in the main lobby, wouldn't it?
I guess that's lobby.
Well, yeah, it is lobby. Well, whatever.
Who knows?
Yeah. It is a CEO take from FaZe right now. Castle Barricade strategy being used from Black Dragons the same way that we saw it from FaZe, but they haven't brought the Clash. Instead, they bring the Mira. Hornetow's Castle Barricade opened up. That means the mirror window facing in the bathroom is going to be a little bit harder to play on. PZD downstairs, he can C4 to deny the plant later on. You can also see Wag and Lagonis drop through the drop in A to C4 underneath in B. So there's lots of denial still in play for BD right now, as 3 players could go under to deny that plant behind the desk. And it's already PZD to start things off. He's going to be the one in the main lobby. Wag will hit a long angle shot onto Ion, who repels in, I believe, to try and get the plant. No, maybe not. Maybe he was just on repel. Anyway, a long angle shot hit from Wag. Low HP, though, on the mute. So it'll be hard for him to win any more fights. He's going to rely on that C4 for future engagements. Stun coming up from Astro to get the player on the castle or not the castle barricade, rather the mirror window. PCD from below gets Astro. These unanswered kills from Black Dragons are crucial. Smokes going out. Castle barricade will also cover this plant attempt. C4 misses as they think it's behind the desk, but Yuna plants in a safe corner. BD now have to retake, but they do have man advantage, so it's doable. Second C4 misses in this round, and the denial from BD was poorly managed. Angle will open up from Skylight from Mav. It's going to be really hard to get that diffuser disabled. Yuna on the diffuser will get one. Mav another from above. Live entry into the site will eliminate Yuna, the planter, but can he get the players on the Skylight? Again, this is a very difficult challenge for the defense. As Live continues to challenge, he will be downed. Tries to stick it there. As you know, pros don't fake. PZD, now the last defender, with so little HP, has almost no chance to win this. An excellent execute from FaZe. I gotta say, really impressive plant there. The smokes were crucial.
You talk about smokes not being all that effective too, and we mentioned the two maps that we tend to see them on Cafe and Coastline, but don't ever count out Consulate, especially on that main lobby, especially Garage. We do see some smoke play here. It doesn't always happen all that often. It really depends on how you want to play it. Cameraman was an incredible player in that particular round with the way that he was able to just pop and weave his way through, and how brazen a play that is for FaZe to get that diffuser down despite the odds and despite the numbers for Black Dragons. The moment that you head up to that Skylight, barring a miracle shot, you're not going to shake them off of the Skylight. The attackers have an advantage for such a long time, and as long as the diffuser is within reach, you're not going anywhere.
It's also the first time we saw 2 rounds in a row.
And the first time that FaZe has won 2 rounds in a row, and the first lead of the game that FaZe has. So there's 3 rounds left. 2 rounds for a win for FaZe. Could still see a draw, very much well within the realm of possibility here. Console Office and Garage will still be available. Tellers is now open as well, and it's going to be a Garage defense. It did not go very well for Black Dragons in round number 8 when they were here. They struggled after the diffuser went down. 2 rounds in a row. Objective play has been strongly in favor of FaZe. Will they be able to do it again?
I know I'm beating this dead horse a little bit too much, maybe, but I do think that Maestro would be a really good option here for Black Dragons, especially considering they want to roam so much. So to reiterate my point I made earlier, if you bring a Maestro here, he is one of the best operators to allow you as a defensive team to roam more aggressively, to have more players off-site. Because a Maestro can single-handedly at least slow up a push into the Garage, and then later in the round, deny a plant outright. It's not a guessing game, right? It's not like, oh, are my smokes gonna land? If you're missing your shots with your Evil Eye, I guess that's really on you, and you can position them so that it's really hard to do that missing. But, I don't know. It, to me, seems like an option and an opportunity that is just forwent by, or foregone.
Foregone conclusion.
They're not bringing it, and I don't see why. Evil Eye, or rather, the Electroclaw is destroyed by the nade, and that will allow Yuna to open up the Garage. The second Electroclaw too slow to react from WAG. He tried, I believe, above, but it just didn't happen.
This is, I was just about to say, this is a bad spot for him to be in, and somehow he manages to get away.
Well, I don't think either of those players were repelled. They were just trying to challenge, maybe?
No, they weren't. Neither were on repel. They were both on the ground. But I just meant that you just need to put one person upside down repel, and he's dead.
Yeah, he's pretty much
he's
goner.
He's a gunner. So
Hornetau's trying to deny the Garage. See if he lands his smokes this time.
it's a bad time for him to be able to throw those smokes out unless he can just kind of stave off the inevitable. There goes the other exothermic charge, and you'll have a tiny ribbon between those 2 panels.
Look at all the FaZe. They're just stacked up for rush.
And they're going to go for it. The moment they're able to stop that mirror window from being effective, they're going to be able to take control of the site. Live is creeping on up, though, so I think Black Dragons are aware of this. Karos will do nothing, as it sounds like they're all being shot away at. And there goes the last one. Hornetau pushes up Live on pipes, and now WAG has joined the action. I love this viewpoint for us to be able to see everything that's happening. Mav looks to spring on in. He gets down by Live. There's so many people. Or Live gets down by Astro. There's so many people from FaZe that they have every single cross that's covered. Lagona's playing behind the safety of this mirror window, but he's susceptible to being shot from below. This is a great spot to be if you're PZD.
Yeah.
Lagonas is going to lose that mirror window, it appears, and he's going to have to seek refuge elsewhere. 1 minute to go. And Mav entering, he's going to go in through server. Nobody's still spotted PZD. He's watching the default plant spot. This could be big and problematic.
Mav's positioning here is going to be crucial to the outcome of this round. And if he manages to get one on the flank, it could cost BD.
But the flank gets spotted out. PZD still from above on the cameraman. That call's going to be made, and Mav will be the one to have to head on up there. Lagonis guns down Astro. And now down goes Yuna as well. BD's getting all the kills. Mav in a 1v1. It's him against the world. But it's Hornetow prone with 30 seconds left. How much utility does the smoke have? That's going to be the real question. Drone out of reach for Mav. One toxic canister left. Mav will have to rotate on over to the breach. Time is not on his side. He does not hold the diffuser. He will need to go for frags in order to push FaZe Clan to match point. 1 point is on the line here. There goes the final smoke. Mav is low enough that he'll choke it on in, and he misses the shots. Hornetow wins the fight and wins the day for Black Dragons. They're tied up at 5 rounds apiece. We'll need every single round between these two teams. What life we see in Black Dragons, as a lot of people predicted this would be a stomp for FaZe. They're going to have to fight a little harder in order to get all 3 points.
Definitely seems like Lagonis has reinvigorated BD. He himself is playing well, but the team as a whole is definitely much better overall and more well-rounded, I would say, in their performance. We're seeing a lot of great individual plays from everyone on BD. PZD in that round was crucial. The information gathering from BD, the coverage on the flank, also very important as Mav was forced to relocate several times. I'm really impressed that BD was able to rebuff that attack through the garage, to be honest. That was the big thing for me, because I thought that FaZe was going to be able to get that pretty easily, considering how stacked up they were. But FaZe at no point full committed, and when they started to skirmish with BD, it just ended up working against FaZe, ever so slightly. And since Mav wasn't in the engagement, he was busy doing other things, it really cost FaZe. I think the flank was a great idea, and it just didn't work because Mav was called out. I still think, though, that maybe having been called out, Mav should have stuck to locker hallway, maybe push kitchen. Not sure. If the kitchen players are distracted by someone coming up on kitchen door, they're not going to be challenging garage, and that was the main point of denial for BD. They had 2, maybe 3 players in kitchen trying to hold on to garage from that position. Even if you die, maybe the right call is kitchen door, Mav. I'm not sure. It's hindsight now, but, you know.
It's really hard to overstate the importance that PZD had on that round by being upstairs,
that too.
2 floors above, getting that single pick.
Yeah.
That was monstrous.
Yeah, absolutely agree. PZD's performance and contribution to that round was crucial. Black Dragons trying the top floor again. The castle barricade once again. Again, the reason that FaZe won the last time they were here is because the C4 was not allowed to go out below. The mirror window in the connector was smoked. I don't even actually know if there was a mirror window, but the connector was certainly smoked, and the mirror would have been if it was there. And the castle barricade covered the plant. There was nobody on the castle barricade to break it, even though it was prepped for a breakage, because FaZe had control of that position. So, yeah, FaZe got the plant down, they played the post plant, and they won the round.
It's a very similar setup that we see here as before from FaZe Clan, except there was a clash involved. Is Castle being effective to cut off Console from the big desk, as you referred to it as. You could also see some of the ADS's and/or utility over on the bathroom wall being removed too. FaZe is ready to strike.
This is a really important Yuna spot here. Habana spot. As Yuna opens up the bathroom wall. So that's actually going to cut off a lot of different angles for the defense. Not only can you get an angle into connector from bathroom repel now from that position, but also you can deny a rotation from long desk. So lots of things just there accomplished for FaZe by 1x Garros.
Down goes Hornetow. Very first pick is going to come out for FaZe. They've been doing well in the opening pick, I guess, statistics. If you look at so far through this game, they have 7 of the 11.
Damn.
Well, actually, I only have 10 registered. I actually missed
one round?
Yeah, I missed the other round.
That's a poor repel in there from Ion.
Not smart.
No, and Wag will punish. I guess they assumed there was only Hornetow holding top yellow, but Wag has rotated, and he's doing a good job of it, even with the UMP.
He's taking a lot of damage because of it, but still, that kill is so pivotal onto Ion. I think the Nomad had burned her flashes earlier on the ADS that was the top of yellow, so barring the air jabs and just another gun, it wasn't imperative that Ion stay alive. Lagonis has to watch two angles, both in front of him on the console windows, but also behind him in case somebody creeps up on Visa stairs. And I think PZD heading on over could possibly do some of that work, but no, PZD's just going to stay downstairs. He might even have a C4 at his disposal. Lagonis gets felled by Cameraman. Live takes out Mav. Both teams lose one. There's Live again. They're thwarting FaZe Clan every step of the way. This is going to be extremely challenging to just go on in. Live picks up his third kill, and it's Cameraman versus the two members of Black Dragons. He finds one, but where's the last remaining member? PZD will need to get a Nitro Cell off. Is it going to reach? Yes, it is. No doubt about it. Match point for Black Dragons. They secure themselves 1 point. A victory for FaZe, out of reach.
Good information there in the site. Whatever was marking was the reason why BD managed to win. Possibly a Mozzie drone. Not sure. What we do know is that FaZe, pretty poor on the angle play. The angle establishment was fine. They got the first pick on yellow stairs. They opened up a hole in the bathroom wall. They seemed to be setting themselves up for a win, but then nobody played bathroom rappel for a solid 40 seconds, which allowed two people to rotate from BD. We saw WAG rotate top yellow, Live rotate over to FaZe, and then at that point, those two players, getting aggressive, managed to win out the round by just being somewhere that FaZe was not accounting for. There are a couple things that FaZe could have done to correct that. One more set of Excaros onto the bathroom wall, for example. If you open up the entire bathroom wall instead of just the one that angles towards long desk, Live would not have been able to play at base. WAG would not have been able to rotate to yellow stairs in all likelihood. If you open that wall and also continue to play bathroom rappel throughout the round. But for some reason, once again, they didn't open the wall and they didn't play that rappel for some period of time. So that allowed BD a lot of freedom. And Live especially took full advantage. So good job to Live. Good job to Black Dragons for seizing upon the opportunity. Poor coverage from FaZe. The only question now is, will this be 1 point for each or 3 for BD?
Did you say that with that Nitro Cell, Black Dragons seize the means of destruction?
10 seconds to insertion.
Sure.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, it's like a communist joke.
All right,
Seize
Parker.
the means of production, seize the means of destruction. It's just like
Yeah, no,
somebody's going to hear that and just
I get it.
Boo! Boo!
I think that's me.
Yeah, well, you didn't do it, so you missed your opportunity.
Well, I said,
Nope.
I thought the okay was already by itself enough.
You had your chance. Pivotal round for FaZe Clan. They came into the day without a single loss. They still have a chance to be in that lossless column. As you can see, all the flashes go sailing on in. Live springs on out, gets baited right into Mav, and already an advantage for FaZe. Now, not that it's mattered, because there have been a couple rounds where FaZe has failed to convert a first pick into a successful victory.
Actually, a lot of rounds, really.
Yeah, actually, that's very correct. 1, 2, 3, 3 by my stretch, where they've gotten the first pick and still lost.
That's pretty bad. That brings the statistic down.
You also got to realize that sometimes that first pick is happening with 30 seconds left, and there's like just chaos. There's chaos ensuing. There's 4 people dying, but FaZe managed to get the first pick. Do they really still get the opening pick? I don't know. Some people probably say no.
I will say that kind of play from Live is the sort of play that says, hey, I don't want to win. I want to draw. But that kill there for PZD, while surprising, will bring BD back into this. Oh, what a read from Astro! PZD's just gone, deleted from this earth.
So long. Farewell.
Oh, boy.
Wiedersehen.
That was such a read there. He knew that someone was in printer, and he thought that maybe there would be a rotation into cafeteria. He was right.
You got to be happy about that one, and it once again gives the advantage back in man count to FaZe Clan, as Live and PZD will watch from the bench to see if their team are able to pull out a stunning victory over the #1 team in the region. Black Dragons with Lagonis have definitely looked better.
Yeah. It's not a win yet for BD, though. As we come pretty close to the end of this round, it's a man advantage for FaZe.
Keep in mind that people have been sleeping on BD. They almost won against Ninjas in Pajamas last week. They came tantalizingly close, even though they did struggle against Elevate. So,
the question is, will they almost win here?
Will they almost win here? Will it be a draw? Oh! Lagonis with 2. Yuna and Cameraman being found by a single Nitro Cell tossed up. That is winnable.
I could save it right
That is now an advantage for Black Dragons. They've managed to turn what was a deficit into a surplus. Diffuser also surrendered by the doorway to Visa. Astro and Ion with 40 seconds left will have to go for frags. And down goes the Zofia as Hornetow manages to collect that scalp of Astro. Ion sees the head of one pop up. He's in tough spot, looks the wrong way. He's going to have the 1v3 shakes. Gets some damage done to him by the SMG-11, but the recoil cannot do very much, and there's Ion swiftly ended. FaZe Clan dropping the ball, and Black Dragons muscling out an impressive victory for the debut of Lagonis. Congratulations, you got the charm in your game, and you are undefeated in Pro League now. Celebrate while you can. 7-5 victory for Black Dragons, 3 huge points.
We'll see how long Lagonis, as an individual, is able to keep up his undefeated streak.
He may never lose again.
Yeah. After his win today,
you hate that I do this.
After his win today, it's entirely possible, Parker. But yes, no, that was a really good performance for your very first match in Pro League.